Hi everyone, how's everybody doing? I know it's been a while since I've made my last video, 1.5 years ago, to be exact. Well, I did a video a few weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, for the flip through of Nick Filbert's new book. Did everybody get their copy? It's an amazing book, by the way. So today I'm gonna share my finishes. I haven't shared it since February of last year, so that's like 1.5 years ago. So as you can see, not many for 1.5 years, but I'm excited to show them all to you today. So let's get started. First book is from Camilla Dirico from her Pop Manga coloring book, and I colored this in April 2024. This is the only page I've colored in her book. I have another book of hers which I haven't colored in yet. I used mixed media on this page. For the background, for the purple background, I used Neo Colors, Caran d'Ache Neo Colors. And then for the golden tut finish, I use Konarobi metallic watercolor, is it? Yeah. And then I also, for her, I used Prismacolors. And I used Sakura Jelly Rolls, the glittery ones, for the details like her eyes, a little bit on her hair. I don't know if you can see it, on the stars, and a little bit on the little cute chick there. Yeah, I really went a little artsy on this page. I just colored it without even thinking about it too much, and I really liked it. It was supposed to be just all pink. I went with wanting to make it just a variation of pink colors, but in the end, as you can see, that didn't work out well. But I'm really happy I didn't do pink. I think the yellow really makes everything just stand out. Yeah, so all right, next, this is A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson, and I've colored 2 pages on this one. I colored both these pages in March 2024. This one I did as a test for the paper, and I used Prismacolors just to see how Prismacolors would work on this paper, and it turned out really well. So I decided to do the next page, which is this one. This one I used the blue background. I used Ohuhu markers just so, you know, because it would take forever if I used pencils. And as you can see, the bleed through. And then I used everything else. I used Prismacolors. I really had fun making this one. I learned how to make shadows, color shadows, you know, because of the fire, from the light from the fire. So I, of course, thought that would be really harsh shadows behind the chair. So I experimented on that, and it turned out really fun, and I really loved how it turned out, exactly what I wanted. I had the I don't know why, but I had the most difficult time deciding to color these little random bugs. I don't even know what they are, but yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that I really like the characters in this book. It really reminds me of The Wind and the Willows, a show I used to watch as a kid, and I love the series. I know there's another book for Mr. Fogarty. I really am planning to get that one day, but I do want to color more of this book before I get a new one, even though I do have another RJ Hampson book which I haven't colored in yet also, so we'll see. Next is Mein Reich durch Europa by Rita Berman. The page I colored was this one. I colored this back in April, and when you think of Rita Berman books, you think colorful, bright colors, and that's exactly what I always do on her pages. You just cannot not color in colorful, bright colors, because it's just how she draws her things. Her artwork is just, you can see it, and she always makes amazing colorings of her books in her Instagram, and they're always so colorful, so you can't help but want to make them as colorful as it can be, as you can see on this page. I used 100% Prismacolors and of course some Posca white pens for the highlights. This one was a nice and simple page to color, and it was really fun. Next book is Gnome Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodridge. Another cute book, and I colored the first page. This one I used Ohuhu markers. The main colors I used, all of them Ohuhu markers, and then added Prismacolor pencils for the details, for shading and everything, and also Sakura jelly rolls for the glittery parts. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but if you can see the details, like the dots on her pajamas and the wallpaper, just to add it a little fun for the page. It was originally, I wanted to make it like a Valentine themed page, but it turned out to be very Christmassy. I don't know, maybe it's because of the pine cones and the leaves, but all the red and green, but I love how it turned. It looks very warm and cozy, which I'm happy because that's what I intended to do, and I really think it's a cute page. The whole book was cute, and I hope to do more on this one. Next is another cute book, Mini Mania, the fourth book by Gabby Wolf, and I colored this one. As you can see, another very bright page, another book that I think really suits colorful themes, you know. If you look at the book, it's very cartoonish, it's very fun, and I think colorful and pastel colors really suit this book. And I had the most fun coloring this page. I used Ohuhu colors as a base and added Prismacolors for the details, and also some Posca white pens for the details. Yeah. The next one is Matchstick Mouse, the Springtime Edition by Morgan O'Brien. This book I only color when I feel like coloring simple, fast pages, because they're perfect for that. And this one I colored in September 2024, and I used Prismacolors and Posca pens. And I call him Bob before I knew this was a girl. Morgan O'Brien has repeatedly posted in his Instagram of it being a girl, but I always think of it as Bob, so I'm still gonna stick with Bob, you know, even though it may be a girl, but for me it's Bob, and I think Bob is cute. Yeah, it's just a nice simple page that I did, and I really like how happy Bob always is in every page. The next book is by Hanne Carlson, Häxans and I colored this page in October for Halloween. Yeah, so I used Neocolor, Caran d'Ache Neocolors for the background, and then I added, I colored in again with Prismacolors just to soften the background, and everything else added Prismacolors, also some Poscas. I added the moon just so we can have a focus on the page, just so to center everything. Otherwise it's just blank background. And I love the simplicity of this page, just minimum colors, you know, orange, purple, and green, blue. And I intended for her hair to be all just purple, but then I added blue and I thought it would look much better. So she would pop out a little, her hair. And I do not like the eyes on that cat. Kind of looks demonic, but you know, it is what it is. It is in a Halloween theme anyway, so I thought, yeah, well, okay. So yeah, this is one of my favorite finishes I did this past year, and I'm really, really proud of it. It didn't take a long time to do it because I just had the idea in my mind about the colors and everything. So the next one is just a tiny finish. I wasn't feeling well that day, but I kind of wanted to have to color that day, and I guess that's what Small Victories by Johanna Basford is meant for, you know, just to, it's one of those books that you pull out when you just want to color something fast, and I did this one. Very simple, tiny page. It's little Prismacolors and Posca pens just to make me feel like I did something that day. And yeah, it was really just a simple finish. Next is Grand Classics by Hachette Heroes. I'm really in love with the Hachette Heroes books. I have now a bunch of them. I love Disney, and they do have a big collection of Disney coloring books, and they all have great illustrations. And this is the one that I finished this. I think it was January. I completed this in January. Used Prismacolors. The thing about why I love coloring these Disney books, because sometimes I'm not, for me, coloring and choosing colors is can be quite stressful if you just can't get an idea in your head. I would like to color all the books, but then when I open a page, I kind of get just stuck, you know, because I can't just figure out the colors I gotta do for the page just to make it look exactly how I want it to be. So the thing about these Disney books is because the colors are already chosen, they're there, the characters are there. All we have to do is just match the colors to the original one, which is all itself also fun for me. I mean, you can definitely like do your own thing with these books. You don't have to color them exactly as it is in the cartoons or in the original artwork, but for me, I think that's the fun in it, getting to choose the colors and match them with the original characters. And you can also always have fun with the backgrounds. I mean, you don't have to, you still have freedom to do your thing for the backgrounds, for the ambiance and everything. But that's one of the reasons why I really am very into these coloring books. Anyway, so Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite Disney princesses and favorite Disney movie, and I'm very happy with this page. Gaston really I love how his red shirt just pops out in this picture. Next is another Hachette Heroes book. This time it's Atelier de Roller Rages. I hope I said that right. I do not know any French. This book I love because of the drawing style. So the theme of this book is that they draw the characters using an anime style. And I think that's very interesting and fun, and it's different. It also gives you a chance to be more creative in coloring it, maybe more of an anime style. The fact that it's only one-sided means that you can definitely use markers for this, and the papers are also quite good. I did this one. I remember I did this in May, where the Lilo and Stitch new movie trailer just came out, and I was really excited about it. It looked really nice, and so I decided I'm just gonna color a Lilo and Stitch page, and I chose this page. Yeah, I used Prismacolors for the page, and I added the sun again, just like the witch page. I added it to have more focus for the page. I do look at the original artworks for ideas, but the original artwork's background wasn't on the beach like this. It was a nighttime scene, and I wanted to change that just because I just thought it would be a nice look if they were sitting in the beach in the afternoon when the sun was setting. So that's what I did. But I followed this part, I did it exactly according to the artwork, and it's really fun to do that. It's not that time consuming for me, I think. The next one is Fantasia by Nicholas F. Chandrawinata. Before he changed his name to Nick Filbert, but this is his first book and one of the first ever adult coloring books that I bought back when I just started coloring. And I think this is an amazing, amazing book, and there was so much people who did amazing coloring for the illustrations in this book. So I decided to color on this book for Mermay 2025. So there was a choice of color palettes for the color along, and I chose the autumn one for this because I thought it suited her very well. The orange on a very dark background really made her pop out, and I love how simple the colors are, but it actually just made her more majestic, I guess. Yeah, I added also some Poscas just for the details, just for the highlights. I had amazing time coloring this. I use Arctic pencils and Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos for this page, and also some Posca for the highlights. Yes, I really enjoyed this one. I think this is also another favorite of mine, and I really do miss coloring on his books. And not long after that, Nick Filbert announced that he was publishing a new book, and I was like, oh, wow, what coincidence. And if you want to see his book, you can see the video that I made of a flip through of his book, and it's really amazing book. The next one is also a color along for the Mermay 2025. It's from the books Mermaids, Fairies, and Other Girls of Whimsy by Hannah Lynn. And I chose the summer color palette for this page. I like how colorful it is. It really is a nice color because it's just how Hannah Lynn artwork's supposed to be, with the hair and the fins. It's just so pretty. I use pan pastels for the background, for the blue background, and also for the sand, but then I added some colors, some shading with Artix pencils. Other than that, I used Artix pencils, and this took me a while to do to cover the lines on the jellyfishes with the jelly pens, the Sakura white gel pen, and also the Posca white pen. But I love how it turned out. I also used Sakura glittery gel pens just for the details here and there, just to make it more colorful and make it more pop out, you know. I just wish her papers were thicker. Otherwise, amazing book. I love it. I love her artwork, Hannah Lynn. Right. For the last one, hang on, I'm just gonna get it. This one is a big book. 300 Coloriages, another one from Hachette Heroes. This one is more of a collection book where it's a combination of all of their coloring type books. You know, Hachette Heroes don't just have like standard coloring books. They also have like mystery colorings and everything, and other types of coloring books, and they're all compiled into this big book. 300 pages of books. So I finished this one. I covered the pages with this because they tend to transfer to the other page if I don't. I don't know, maybe it's the paper, because I use Prismacolors and usually that doesn't happen on other books, but on Hachette Hero pages, they tend to. So I cover them with plastic just to avoid any transfer to this page. This one I did a while back, in January 2025. It took me a while to finish this. I started back in late 2024, just colored the background, and then I stopped coloring it somehow, and then I continued again in January and I finished it, and I'm really glad with the finish. It just looks like a very happy page. It's a really nice paper to color in. Prismacolor works well, Polychromos works better, but Polychromos is a hard pencil and they tend to ruin the paper if you like press it too hard. So I do use Prismacolors on these pages. And this last one I wanted to show you. So this page is one of the mystery coloring pages, where it's basically what they give you is just a page, a color my number page. They give you is like lines and just symbols. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just lines and symbols, and beneath the pages, each page, they would give you like a code for the numbers and the colors that you use. The thing about these color pages, you can use any medium you like. You just have to match the colors to these symbols. What I do is I make swatches and then I put holes in them like this for everything for my colorings. Usually I use markers, acrylic markers, and then I just, you know, do it like this and then match the colors to the symbols. But for this page, I used pencils, Prismacolors. I wanted to try something different because usually the finishes for the coloring, mystery colorings, are like this. They're block colors, you know, just a normal cartoon. But for this one, I wanted to try using shadings and highlights as like I would normally do when I color pages. I use Prismacolors for this one, and it turned out really nice. I really loved it. But the problem is the symbols still, you can still see them in the finished results, especially for the light colors. I don't know if you can see in the sky, the background. You can see all the still symbols are still there. So, and it's not as easy as it seemed, because it was kind of not, it was a little tricky, but I had fun. I really had fun. I just don't like how the symbols show up every after I colored it in. So I think I may just stick to markers for coloring the mystery coloring pages. Right, so that's it for my finishes, my coloring finishes for the past 1.5 years. After this, I want to show you a little bit of my cozy coloring work. You know how cozy coloring is like a real big trend right now, especially in TikTok. Those simple pages that you color with markers, and I was very much into it in the late 2024 until the early 2025. I'm not very much into it right now, but I thought I may wanna, I thought I would just like to show you a few of those colorings. I know not a lot of people, some people don't really, are not really into it, and it's okay. So I'm just gonna pause a little bit right here just to say goodbye to my viewers who are not interested in the cozy colorings. I hope to see you soon in the next video. But for those who are interested, hang on, I'll just get the books ready. So I don't have a big collection of those, of the cute cozy coloring books, and I bought these on Amazon. They're really cheap. I'll just show you a few of my finishes that I've made. First is from Comfy Days Coco Wyo. I use Ohuhu markers like most of the people who do these books do. Yeah, I love the simplicity of them. I love how it's just like you're just a little kid coloring simple pictures, and I like that. I love it about it. And you can also use shading techniques with them and make it turn into a more add more depth to them, and they're also very colorful. This one, it was an autumn themed one, but I used more muted colors for the autumn colors. And as you know, there's a lot of tutorials on Instagram on how to add details on the pages, and so that's what I did. I followed a tutorial for the wall, so I added these bricks. Yeah, it's really nice and fun. It's the thing I like about these books is that you can add details, like adding these lines on the chairs, on the table, you know, the little dots on the hat. Just add your little details, and your work will be totally different from other people, even though we're coloring on the same page. Right, next one is Little Corner from Coco Wyo. This one, nice. I got an inspiration from a kitchen I saw in Pinterest, a pink kitchen, and decided to just follow that color theme. And I like how I added tiles, the details on the tiles, I used Sakura Jelly Roll, the glittery ones. And then it's really, I can't, it's the thing about these, I just really enjoy adding the details on the pages. You know, like these simple dots and these simple lines on the towel, things like that. And maybe a little bit of Posca just to make a jar look like it's made from glass. Next one is it Haig or is it Heeg? Haig, I assume it's Haig by Coco Wayo. Let's see which one. Okay, here, this one. This one is a simple bakery, Bear Bakery book. For these types of coloring books, I usually make fun short videos on Instagram where I just show you my progress on coloring them, and I find them really fun to watch, so I decided to make my own when I color these books, and it's really fun to do. And if you want to check them out, you can see in my Instagram. Another one is this one. I love how this one turned out. This bush, the leaves over here, it's just it seems very 3D just because I added some shading on this part here. I like how colorful this page is. It's really nice and bright. And this one, this is one of my first pages that I did. I added some details on the wooden kitchen just to make it seem more woody. And then I added the cow dots here, made flowers here and there. Next one is from Spooky Cutie by Coco Wayo. I only did one page, I think. This is for Halloween. I just thought that it would be funny to make a ghost coloring book, coloring page more brighter with bright colors. She seemed like a ghost that would like colorful things, so that's why I made the pink chair and the pink fluffy carpet and the green sandals and head wrap and everything. I also added these messy cobwebs on the back for the wallpaper. I used white gel pens, but somehow it turned pink. I think it's because of the markers. And then I also added the spiders just to make it more spooky. I like how colorful this page is. The last one is from Jade Summer, Comfy and Cozy. I think I did 2 pages on this one. Yeah, the first one was this one. I wanted to try to do effects of light on the page. You know how the campfire would shine the things around them in a certain way, and I try to do that using markers. It's easier, of course, using pencils, but on markers it's a little bit trickier than that because it's just one line. And I think I really like the results. Yeah, I did a little video also on this one. And the last one is this one. Another autumn themed one. I love the muted colors of the autumn theme instead of the bright ones, and I thought it would be a lovely, it looked perfect for this page. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me through this video. I do hope I will make more finishes in the coming weeks, and I can make another video on finishes. I do intend to make more videos on other coloring books, like one that's more focused on my Hatchet Hero collection, another maybe on my tools and stuff like that. I'm doing other hobbies also besides coloring. I do cross stitch as well and diamond painting, so I divide my time for my other hobbies, but I do hope I will get more inspired to do more colorings, because sometimes there's just days when you're just not inspired and you just stare at a coloring page and you just don't know what to do. But that's okay. It's not something that you have to force yourself to do. And so yeah, well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye, everybody.